Welcome to UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Chumdisha with Nakakuni Elizabeth on Sign Language. In our top stories today, Ikumbanya Yoweri celebrates coronation. Museveni commends new massacre bishop. East Buganda to get fast regional Kadi. In our sports news, Egypt sacks head coach after loss to South Africa. President Yoweri Museveni has said the NRM government attaches priceless value to the issue of preserving the rich indigenous African languages, positive cultural norms, practices and values. He noted that unity can be achieved alongside preserving a unique identity and thus cautioned against the use of identity as a tool to segregate marginalized people. The president made the remarks in his speech delivered by the Prime Minister Dr. Rugunda at the 5th coronation anniversary of the King of Bugwere Kingdom, His Royal Highness Chrysostom Wayabide.
In a speech delivered by the Prime Minister Dr. Rugunda, President Museveni has commended the leadership of Bugwere Kingdom for maintaining a cordial relationship with the government of Uganda and for participating in the development agenda of its people. He said the leaders of the kingdom should gear their efforts towards transforming the majority of the people from peasantry to modernity and prosperity.
The avenues for creating wealth and jobs are, and he again talks about them many times, commercial agriculture, industries, both big and small, services, that is hotels, transport, professional services, and also shops. And also ICT, like business outsourcing. I call upon all cultural leaders to encourage the population to actively participate in government programs geared towards eliminating poverty and increasing household incomes, like Operation Wealth Creation.
The president called upon cultural leaders to work tirelessly in regard to the preservation of the rich African vernaculars.
I'm always fascinated by the rich and expressive descriptions of the African vernaculars compared to, for example, the English language. Our numerous customs regarding marriage and etiquette and the rich social philosophy expressed in the proverbs of our languages should be jealously guarded to regard them against negative influences.
His Royal Highness, the Ikumbanya Bishop John Chrysostom Wayabide, asked his subjects to focus on agriculture and also engage in Operation Wealth Creation activities in order to eradicate poverty.
His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, the government here, ne kulemberesa ejabirenga awagira cultural institutions omu Uganda. Era tutwala omukisa okwebalya n'obugabirizi era n'enkwata egyakwayitemu obuwangwa n'institutions era okuboneka nti awulira amaanyi swena okuba nga atutwaliramu ng'ekintu kikulu.
The Ikumbanya was installed as the leader of all African kings and culture leaders at the ceremony. The function was attended by various culture leaders from different parts of Africa, Uganda culture leaders, political leaders and government officials, among others. Doreen Nasasra reporting for UBC News.
Bishop Severus Jumba has been ordained the fifth bishop of the ecclesiastical province of the Catholic Diocese of Masaka following his appointment by Pope Francis in the Vatican on the 16th of April 2019. The Episcopal Appointment Committee comprised Bishop Emeritus John Baptist Sentam Kagwa of Masaka Diocese, the Apostolic Nuncio to Uganda, Archbishop Luigi Bianco, Archbishop Dr. Cyprian Chizito Luanga of Kampala Archdiocese, Bishop Dr. Anthony Ziwa of Chiyinda Mitiana Diocese, and Bishop Emeritus of Hoima, Albert Baharagate. President Yoweri Museveni, in a speech read for him by Vice President Edward Chiwanika II, said that like the biblical appointment of Moses by God, Bishop Jumba has been tasked to shepherd the flock in righteous conduct here on earth.
Monsignor Severus Jumba has been ordained the fifth bishop of the ecclesiastical province of the Catholic Diocese of Masaka following his appointment by Pope Francis in the Vatican on the 16th of April 2019. The Episcopal Appointment Committee, comprised of Bishop Emeritus John Baptist Sentamukagwa of Masaka Diocese, the Apostolic Nuncio to Uganda, Archbishop Luigi Bianco, the Archbishop Dr. Cyprian Chizito Luanga of Kampala Archdiocese, Archbishop Dr. Anthony Ziwa of Chiyinda Mitiana Diocese, and Bishop Emeritus of Hoima, Albert Baharagate.
Omaliridde okulangirira evvanjiri ya Kristo ng'oli mwesigwa era nga toddirira. Omaliridde.
President Yoweri Museveni, in a speech read for him by the Vice President Edward Chiwanika II, said that like the biblical appointment of Moses by God, Bishop Jumba has been tasked to shepherd the flock in the righteous conduct here on earth and as a heir of God's eternal kingdom, and expressed optimism that he has been prepared by God in various ways, like exhibiting humility and divine wisdom. President Museveni said that Masaka Diocese has received an able and focused man of God to serve the church, adding that taking on such responsibility, the new bishop must constantly remind himself of the powerful bond with Jesus Christ shares with his church, and which he refers to as his beloved bride. The president added that the appointment of Bishop Jumba is indeed a statement and testimony of his devotion, selfless service, and faithfulness to the church, and implored him to use his vast experience to promote harmony and development in the diocese. President Museveni hailed the Emeritus Bishop of Masaka, John Baptist Kagwa Sentam, for the hard work, commitment, and good leadership which made Masaka Diocese a role model. He also thanked him for nurturing a cordial relationship between the state and the church during his tenure in office, and well as organizing the ordination function. President Museveni said that the church plays a key role in shaping the morals of society, as well as being a strong partner in development with government, especially in education, health and direct employment, and improving the standards of living of the people, boosting skills development, and positive change in society. President Museveni donated a vehicle to Bishop Severus Jumba to aid his pastoral activities in the diocese, and also challenged the church not to limit their duties towards evangelization, but also mobilize the community into active participants in programs that affect their welfare. The Katikkiro of Uganda, Charles Peter Mayiga, advised the new prelate not to fit into the shoes of his predecessors, but to get own-fitting shoes, and expressed optimism that this will create a more lasting impact and legacy in his tenure as leader of the diocese. He also thanked him for initiatives to champion youth development. Katikkiro Mayiga reported to the bishop about the dangers of the proposed coffee regulation by government that will keep out many people employed in the coffee industry from farmers who are mostly concerned in the sector. He says that although quality is necessary for competitiveness, licensing farmers may kill small-scale farmers whose incomes have solely relied on coffee for their livelihoods since time immemorial. Bishop Severus Jumba thanked all Christians for organizing the function under a multi-religious approach, which also included all people from various areas in the country, and also appointed Reverend Father Sengova as his assistant. The function that was also addressed by the Apostolic Nuncio, Archbishop Luigi Bianco, and the chairman of the Episcopal Conference, Archbishop Anthony Zwa, was attended by the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries and Animal Industry, Vincent Sempi Jam, the commander of the UPDF Defense Forces, General David Mhozi, the leader of opposition in Parliament, Betty Awo Ochan, Senior Presidential Advisor for Operation Wealth Creation, General Caleb Akwandanaho, members of Parliament, leaders of the Democratic Party, Norbert Mao, the leader of Budu, Vincent Maiga, and clan leaders from the Chima, Mbogo, and Pologoma clans, among others. Reporting for UBC TV News, Stephen Kanakulia Sempa.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stephen Kanakulia Sempa. In more stories, Father Patrick Edep of Immaculate Cathedral Parish under the Sorority Catholic Diocese has urged Christians to embrace the spirit of peace and forgiveness. Now, Patrick Edep advised religious leaders to avoid falsifying and pretending to be possessed by the Holy Spirit, while in actual sense it is not the case. Let's take a look.
Hundreds of Christians have this Sunday attended Holy Mass at Sorority Immaculate Cathedral Parish for fellowship. Father Patrick Edipo urged Christians to understand and know the meaning of peace. He said peace overcomes fear and hatred.
We have World Peace Day. What are we celebrating? Have we really understood this peace? Do we know what peace is? So we are challenged. These are realities of life. This is real life. You know, in peace is where God dwells. That even before creation, the world was a formless void. There was peace before creation. It was from that peace that something good, better, excellent came into existence. Peace.
Father Ipidu attributes the increasing domestic violence to the perpetuators of bad peace. He said, there is need for Christians to rediscover their relationship with God in order for them to follow the teachings of Jesus Christ.
Some people are created sadists. For them, they are anti-peace. They find an environment where there is peace. They bring you to this office, a peaceful office. People have been enjoying in the office. For you come and disorganize them. You are transferred to another district. You find a district well settled. People are peace. You go and cause their confusion. You find a peaceful, very good wife. You destroy that family. You go and find an environment. You enter into a Christian community. You disorganize that Christian community. You go into whatever point, group you enter into, your work is to disorganize.
Ipidu said, at the end of it all, the souls shall rest in Christ, hence the need of grace in total peace.
For you to receive peace, you must be ready to let go. You must be ready to do what? To let go. Your neighbor, your wife, your what, has created pain, a wound in your heart. You have been harboring that for so long. The message is for you today. Release. Forgive your wife.
Father Ipidu said, peace begins from God and flows to those whom God grants powers. The church prayed for all Ugandans struggling in life. Sudat Kai, UBC News.
Every dream has a challenging journey. Ours began in 1998 with a mission to drive the development of a robust communications sector in Uganda. We created structures to champion the dream. We've evolved, made discoveries, supported great minds, empowered Ugandans, and fostered a vibrant culture, enabling communication for all. Down the years, we've created memories and networks, uniting generations and building great partnerships. Together, we can go even further. UCC, celebrating 20 years of achievements.
Have you completed Senior 4 or Senior 6 and you want to do a 2-year certificate or a diploma course? Makerere Institute for Social Development, an affiliate to Makerere Business School, offers programs in accounting and finance, business administration, procurement and supplies management, social work and social administration, information technology, counseling and guidance, human resource, project planning and management, journalism, secretarial studies, and many others. We are located on Sa Apollo Kegwa Road, next to Oilcom Petrol Station, with a UBTEP Center number.
Loti y'omwaka nga bulijjo yine guse ye loti y'omwana waffe asinga okuyimba gospel mu Lunyankole era nga ye Miss Mbabazi Chamkongwire ku luno ebbango tuliwanise anti tuli bakubeera ku Serena Hotel e Kampala ng'ennaku z'omwezi 14 omwezi ogwa Julayi 2019 emiryango gya kugula okusaamu endeza akawungeezi okuyingira emitwalo 5 VIP emitwalo 10 ate emmeeza ya miliyoni emu yokka. Jangu tuwagira omwana waffe awerekeddwako Musibeta Florence, Maria Simwe, Father Musala, Twina Habat, Beingana, Doi Tendo, Bettina Maganda, Joseph Segawa, biwagidwa Pepsi, Travel, UBC TV, Star TV, Star FM, Kenam Construction Services, Horeb Company, Kampala Serena Hotel, SMS1, No Radio, mujje tuwagira omwana waffe ffenna tubeeyo.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. In more news, government will be required to facilitate legal representation for any financially challenged citizen should the Legal Services Aids Bill of 2018 be passed into law. The bill, which was first presented to Parliament in September 2018, aims at easing access to justice. Gulu Municipality Legislator Leandro Komakech, who is also the brain behind the bill, says the draft is ready for presentation before Parliament.
Is in order, Madam Speaker.
It is not yet over until it is over. Seems to be the slogan that Gulu Municipality Member of Parliament, Leandro Komakech, is riding on. Komakech, who fronted the Legal Aid Services Bill in September 2018, was given a 1-month task to engage Attorney General. But why did a leave of Parliament for which he sought to present the bill turn out longer than allocated?
So far we have had 3 draft changes, and in those draft changes it is meant to ensure that when this bill is introduced in the House, it will not in any way waste the time of any legislator.
The right to free legal assistance to socially and economically disadvantaged people is recognized. Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. Other laws that recognize the same include Civil Procedure Act, Children Act, PWDs Act, and the Refugee Act, among others. This recognition is extended to almost all the leading international human rights protocols that Uganda is party to. However, the country lacks a legal framework to effectively streamline and coordinate provisions of legal aid services to indigent and vulnerable persons.
So I think it is a law which is good for Uganda. We have experiences in Africa. South Africa is having the best experience. We visited there recently. Kenya is already doing it. Rwanda is already doing it. Even a small country called Somaliland, which is not even recognized internationally. It broke out of Somalia. They are doing it. So how about Uganda? It is long overdue.
Regional consultations are done in all the 4 areas of Eastern, Northern, Western and Central. So, what next?
We are giving 1 month from now. That is when, or even less, that is when we shall get this process gazetted, and then we come back to the House. And we know that it will be passed in a record time, since all those who contributed during the debate when we introduced the motion, it was a bipartisan debate. Everybody agrees to it. they are only waiting for us to come back to the house.
Should the Legal Aid Services Bill of 2018 be passed into law, government will be required to cater for legal representation for disadvantaged persons. When and how soon this will be, time will tell. Henry Okurut, UBC.
Thank you, Henry Okurut. In more news, Muslims in East Buganda region are in high preparations for the enthronement of their pioneer Kadi at a ceremony take place at Kasana Luwero Masjid, Luwero district. Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaji is expected to officiate the installation ceremony of Sheikh Mustafa Lule.
All roads will lead to Kasana Luwero Masjid next weekend as East Buganda region witnesses the enthronement of Sheikh Mustafa Lule as the first ever East Bugandan regional Kadi. The ceremony is to be officiated by the Mufti of Uganda, Sheikh Shaban Ramadan Mubaji. Zephania Chiza Seninde is the chairperson of the enthronement committee.
There are no difference. These are Catholics, these are Muslims, these are whatever region it is. We are all together. If we are doing something, we can get together and do it and complete.
The Luwero Deputy District Kadi, Sheikh Twaha Lubega, calls upon all Ugandans to support them and to turn up in big numbers for the event.
We are preparing, we are well prepared, and what we call upon all people in Uganda to come and join us in our function.
The Imam of Entebbe, Sheikh Hamid Kawuya, says the event is aimed at deepening Allah's work.
We put our regional card on the chair. The regional card is going to work in 10 districts.
The old Kampala Best Uganda Muslim Supreme Council recently created 9 autonomous Muslim regions, each of which is to be headed by a regional Kadi. The East Buganda Muslim Regional Council comprises of 8 districts including Wakiso, Luwero, Nakasongola and Mukono. The seat for East Buganda Muslim region will be situated at Chiana near Bombo town. Sheikh Mustafa Lule is an Egyptian-trained graduate of Sharia law who formerly served as the Luwero district Kadi. Jim Kaliasubula compiled the report.
The District Inspector Office of Schools, Kiruhura District, Robert Agume, has asked parents to create a good and conducive learning environment for their children through providing for them. Agume was interacting with parents and schools proprietors in Kiruhura District.
The Inspector of Schools, Kiruhura District, Robert Agume, wants learners to acquire necessary knowledge and skills that will make them compete favorably with their counterparts elsewhere. He was speaking at a symposium held at Joyce Center International Primary School, Kiruhura. This was after teachers accused parents of being reluctant to provide necessary requirements for their children. He further advised parents to ensure they are updated about the performance of their children at school.
Some of them don't know their roles and responsibilities, and actually some of them don't know how to handle themselves, and as a result of that they fail to handle their children. So we have designed a program that these parents are engaged. At the beginning we had a training on the financial management. Later on we had a training on today we have had a training on making strong and safe relationships. We are encouraging mothers and fathers, we are encouraging parents to be very strong, to work together for the upbringing of these children.
Joyce Center International Primary School proprietor Alice Kaburemba urged parents and guardians to always assist their children improve their performance.
We made a program that we needed to orient parents on their roles and responsibilities. We designed about 18 topics for this year, and we are making them monthly.
Making committees, PTA committees, building committees, so that if there is any project, agriculture, hygiene and sanitation, water, every time we have a project that is coming up, we need a team of parents to be part of that project so that it can be successful.
The coordinator, Joyce Center International Primary School, Wilson Kamuntu, explains that they are working towards improving conditions of vulnerable children for a better future.
Homework, they should go and do them with their parents. And also, we looked at the punishment that kids give, the parents give their children when they go back. It's very important in the way that the kid doesn't lose the mental. The kid doesn't lose the stability. So all those are trained and parents know how to handle their children in a good way.
Tanaba Kenneth compiled this report.
In our business news, the resident district commissioner, Kole Johanan Omar Olwenyi, wants policymakers to address pertinent issues affecting sustainable agricultural production. He was touring farmers' demonstration gardens during Kole District's Farmers' Day. Take a look.
The resident district commissioner, Kole District, Johanan Omar Olwenyi, is seemingly not happy with the conditions a majority of rural peasants are faced with.
The bulk of our population are farmers in this country. And when we talk about poverty eradication, we must seriously consider eradication of poverty among the farmers, which forms the basic population of Uganda.
Johanan Omar Olwenyi is, however, dissatisfied with some of the politicians in Kole over supporting protected wetlands encroachment, oblivious of climate change impacts vis-a-vis drought and food insecurity.
Destroy the ecosystem and then think we are doing a good farming. Our problem in Kole is with some politicians who are propelling and telling the farmers to go and dig the wetland instead of helping me to tell the farmers out of the wetland. The people have run to dig the swamps, thereby destroying the water table.
The Agriculture Field Day for Kole has been a partnership between Makerere University Faculty of Agriculture, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries, and is facilitated by extension workers from Sasakawa Global 2000.
Pest has damaged these things so much. He has not controlled it well. He didn't spray it. So he's not going to get a better yield as we expected.
The fall armyworm happens to be a pest that has just attacked the whole of Eastern and through to Southern Africa.
But the issue is, at what time do they spread? Because it has to be very early in the morning before the sun comes out.
Makerere University senior lecturer at the Faculty of Agriculture and Environmental Science, Dr. Florence Birungi Chaze, says it is upon them to visit the end users of their technologies.
Opportunity for us as researchers, but also as academicians, to actually interact with the end users and see what exactly they are doing, and also appreciate the modifications that they do to our technologies.
The country director Sasakawa Global 2000, Dr. Roslyn Nyamutale, says that the only way to fight rural poverty is to fight the subsistence thinking in farming.
We don't want you to keep farming only for majorly to eat, but sometimes also you don't find the household with enough food. We want you to take agriculture as a business and ensure that you sell a good amount of your produce for money.
The farmers were later exposed to post-harvesting technologies with the different machines used in improving the quality of food.
In our international news, Iran has announced it will break a limit set on uranium enrichment in breach of the landmark 2015 deal designed to curb its nuclear ambitions. Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi said Iran still wanted to salvage the deal but blamed European countries for failing to live up to their own commitments. Now, the US unilaterally withdrew from the agreement in 2018. It has since imposed great sanctions affecting the Iranian economy. The Iranian announcement marks the latest breach of the accord. In May, Iran announced it would step up its production of enriched uranium, which can be used to make fuel for reactors, but also for nuclear weapons. The country has already stockpiled more enriched uranium than permitted under the terms of the deal. Iran has strongly denied that it has any intention of building nuclear weapons. On the anniversary of the U.S. withdrawal, Iran gave a 60-day deadline to the remaining signatories of the deal, China, France, Germany, Russia and the UK, to protect it from U.S. sanctions. Speaking at a press conference on Sunday at the end of the deadline, Mr. Arakshi said Iran would start enriching uranium above a concentration of 3.67% within a few hours to provide fuel for its Bushehr power plant.
The long line hassle. With 1xBet, the power of placing that perfect bet is at your fingertips. Bet anytime from anywhere. Best of all, payment is instant. Place your bet on whatever you choose. Virtual games, bet games, sports, and even live betting. Winning has never been this simple. Bet with 1xBet. Advanced gaming is regulated by the Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board. Betting is addictive and can be psychologically harmful, and it's only eligible to persons above 18 years of age. Brought to you by Bet with 1xBet.
From the sports scene, Egypt have sacked head coach Javier Aguirre after the host suffered by South Africa in the last 16 of the African Cup of Nations. The Pharaohs were the pre-tournament favourites but lost 1-0 in Cairo after Thebin Kosi launched his 85th minute winner. Egypt Football Association President Hani Abu-Rida has also resigned, saying it was a moral obligation. Mexican Aguirre, 60, was appointed in August 2018, succeeding Hector Cooper, who left after their World Cup exit. Speaking after Saturday's defeat, Aguirre, who still had 3 years left on his contract, said, "Of course I'm responsible. Nobody here in Cairo saw this defeat coming. Egypt's performances weren't totally convincing in the group stage, but they still managed to win all 3 games, score 5 goals and kept 3 clean sheets. Surely they would be able to sweep aside a South Africa team who squeezed into the last 16 with just 1 win, 1 goal and 2 defeats in their first round matches." But in front of 75 fans, Mohamed Salah and his teammates were totally flat. Meanwhile, South Africa showed ambition and absolutely no fear. Bafana deserved the win and the Egyptian crowd knew it. South Africa midfielder Dean Farman took me after the game that the home fans gave him and his teammates a standing ovation as they left the pitch.
What did he need to do from there? He was so well positioned, covering his ground. He's a very tall goalkeeper. Really need to produce something quite special to beat El Shenawi.
That's not bad at all, that's a great ball. This is a 2-against-1 situation. And that's a great ball into the midfield. Going in the goal! It's a goal for South Africa! Lorch has scored! They caught them off guard, it's the counter-attack. Oh my word! Bafana, with 5 minutes to go. Lorch has proved to be the very important key that's opened up this Egyptian defence. What a remarkable finish. Great work by Matiba. Slick work and a beautiful finish to fire past El Shenawi. And there's the final whistle. There's the final whistle. Stuart Baxter, well, he's going to be getting all of the credit you could possibly imagine. South Africa have knocked out the hosts, Egypt. There's the final scoreline, South Africa.
Thank you so much for watching UBC News tonight. That brings us to the end of our news bulletin at 10 p.m. Before we sign out, we'll take a look at the headlines. Kumbani Yoweri celebrates coronation. Museveni commends new massacred bishop. First regional Kadi. Now, sports news: Egypt sacks head coach after loss to South Africa. Watching UBC News tonight. My name is Sharon Chomdusha with Nakon Elizabeth on sign language. From the team and I, have a lovely night and a great week ahead of you.